Y'all, it looks like TJ Holmes' ex-wife, Marilee Fiebig, is still salty about how he did her dirty because she just brought more receipts of TJ cheating. And y'all, this man was out here wildin'. If y'all thought that his affair with Amy Robach was the first time he cheated on Marilee, well, you better think again because TJ has been out in the streets for a long time. And what's more, the streets are saying that he has a fetish for white women because he just can't seem to act right and keep it in his pants whenever he's around white women. Girl, TJ Holmes just got exposed big time and it is not looking good for him. Has he started cheating on Amy already? And is he really going to dump Amy like he did Marilee? Let's talk about this. Amy and TJ shocked the world with their romance in 2022, and to everyone's surprise, they're still going strong, or at least that's how it looks on the surface, because fans are starting to claim that it's only a matter of time before he starts cheating on Amy like he did to his ex-wife Marilee. According to In Touch Weekly, the romance between Amy and TJ is starting to fizzle out and they have been fighting a lot. They wrote, "The honeymoon period is definitely over between them. They spend more time fighting than anything else. They bicker a lot more and the days of them not being able to keep their hands off each other are long gone." According to the sources, the couple is dismayed to find their torrid romance was built on the quicksand of lust, not love, and they do not expect it to last. The bloom is off the rose and all they see in each other is the person that likely caused their downfall, the insider says. The wheels started falling off the bus when the two moved into the same New York City apartment. Squeezing them into a small space together like this while the world turned against them was a recipe for disaster. To be fair, nobody expected them to last this long either, but they've managed to hold it down so far, even though they haven't been able to find jobs since their affair got them fired from their cushy job on Good Morning America 3. They try hard to keep hopes alive, and a source spoke to Us Magazine and said, they're pitching themselves as a duo. They've pitched a reality show, docuseries, and daytime talk show, all of which they know will be popular and people will watch. Amy has said whatever they do, this is about real love and they're in it together. If that doesn't work out, they will vouch for each other and help each other. They won't let each other fall. Their love is inspiring both of them to keep encouraging each other and to help each other. However, with the new speculations that he could be cheating on Amy, fans are now digging deep into his past and it's worse than we could have imagined. You know how TJ got dragged for filth when we found out about him and Amy? Fans were wondering how he could do that to Marilee, who seemed like the sweetest woman ever and was even open to making her marriage work after TJ got exposed. But it turns out that it was not the first time that TJ had cheated on Marilee. He seems to have a type of fetish for white women and he has a long track record of cheating on Marilee while they were married. He even hinted at his philandering ways in his Instagram post celebrating their 10th anniversary. He wrote, "This particular decade challenge is a little late, but 10 years ago, Marilee Fiebig married me, and despite my best efforts, she remained married to me for the past 10 years. That's not hyperbole. I'm not being dramatic. I gave her plenty of reasons, excuses, and opportunities to walk her fine self out the door, but instead, with her built-in black woman superpower, she showed a grace and patience that's incomprehensible." He continued, "Asking her for another 10 years would be asking too much. Another 10 months, that may even be a stretch. If she gave me another 10 weeks, I should consider myself lucky. If she puts up with me another 10 days, I'd be grateful. But if she would even spare another 10 minutes of her time for me today, I should consider myself blessed." This is Marilee Fiebig Holmes, y'all. Yeah, that should have just stayed in the drafts because it was embarrassing. But it was not as embarrassing as what we found out next. It turns out that TJ had previously cheated on Marilee with a GMA3 producer named Natasha Singe. This wasn't just a one-time fling or even a couple of casual hookups. This affair dragged on for 3 years. The only reason it ended was that TJ's wife Marilee caught wind of it and shut it down. An affair lasting 3 years is no accident. TJ knew exactly what he was doing the entire time and simply didn't care. After his affair with Amy, it's pretty clear that he's the type of guy who gets a kick out of messing around with coworkers even when his wife knows them and is on friendly terms with them. Honestly, he belongs to the streets. What's even wilder is that Amy knew about TJ's affair with Natasha because they were friends and he apparently confided in her about it. So she was fully aware that he was the cheating type, yet she still decided to risk everything by getting involved with him. But that wasn't his last affair because he continued to get it on with other white women on the show, like a junior staffer named Jasmine. According to sources, back in 2015, he had an affair with a 24-year-old GMA script coordinator named Jasmine Petaway. A source said it was Jasmine's first role job in television and it was a big deal for her. She was looking for a mentor and she reached out to several people. TJ was someone who was responsive, but he absolutely the position of trust. Holmes was someone who would grab drinks, and he and Jasmine started doing that. The source continued, "You must remember he was a correspondent at the time, and he's taken time to speak to her about work or whatever. I don't know how long that had been going on before it got, but I do know the first time it did was in his office, and he was about to go on air in a couple of hours. They did the nasty, and I know she was confused afterward as to what it meant." This is just all kinds of wrong because Jasmine trusted him. And before anyone starts saying it was mutual, let's not forget that he was in a position of power. He was her superior, which created a clear power imbalance. The fact that Jasmine was left confused after they hooked up really shows that this imbalance played a big role in why she went along with his advances. The source hinted that TJ allegedly played on his role of power over Jasmine for the affair. The source added, "It didn't last long, but you have to wonder if he ever invested in being a mentor at all. Jasmine was a beautiful girl, and he had it all on his terms. He was interested, and then he wasn't. This was a young woman starting out in a difficult industry looking for role models and mentors, and she got TJ. No one talked about power back then, but stuff happened." Another source spoke to Daily Mail and said, "That's who he was. Did he ever want to be professional or just spoil the fruits he'd been given? I don't know. I just know he was always looking to be the guy with the swagger. He didn't seem to care that he was married or that he could be risking his job." Y'all want to know what's wild about this? It's that while his affair with Jasmine was going on, he had another affair with another woman who worked on the show. Child, this man was a menace at work. According to Page 6, still suspended GMA3 co-host TJ Holmes had a suspected in-office romp with another junior staffer. The insider claims the alleged encounter occurred in 2015. The same year, a then-married Holmes allegedly had a months-long affair with subordinate Jasmine Petaway, whom he allegedly did the nasty with in his office. Our source tells us this woman was in her mid-20s and worked as an overnight associate producer at ABC at the time of the alleged encounter. The source continued, Holmes and the staffer who is no longer with the network were allegedly in his office sometime after 3 a.m. with the door closed. We're told a bunch of rustling could be heard coming from inside the room and that the woman emerged looking completely flushed and like a deer in headlights. It is unclear whether the staffer ever reported the alleged encounter to HR. Y'all, Marilee was fighting for her life in that marriage, and honestly, it was only a matter of time before things blew up in TJ's face like it did. But hey, at least Marilee seems to be healing now. She has a new successful business, a new relationship that looks healthy, and things are looking up for her. TJ, on the other hand, well, let's just say that he's not having a good time like Marilee is. Fans commented, if Amy Robach at some point in the future gets screwed the way she and TJ Holmes screwed their spouses, then it would mean karma works. I'm not wishing her that karma, but come on now. He slept his way through the office while he was married. Why would she be different? Sounds like Amy Robach did TJ Holmes' wife a favor by taking him off her hands, cause ain't no way a person who has 3 whole butt affairs wants to be with you, sis. And TJ Holmes had all that itch to say only for him to be caught cheating on his black wife with a white woman. Woo. But I want to know what y'all think about this mess. How much longer do you think this relationship is going to last before they fall apart? Drop your thoughts down below and then check out this other insane drama.